Officer's appointment and role of the budget officer, and formula and considerations. Mr. Vadney, please proceed.
I'm the only one for the...
Only one for budget, yeah? So far.
Harold Vadney, Town Attorney, Baltimore, New Street. This evening, the Town Council, pursuant to Town Law Section 108, is receiving public comment on the 2024 budget. Before doing so, I'd like to address a preliminary question regarding the so-called budget officer. The Town Supervisor is the Chief Budget Officer, and according to Town Law Section 103, and I quote, "The supervisor may appoint to serve at his pleasure any person, including a town officer or employee, other than a member of the town board, to be budget officer." A similar statement is included in Manual Information for Town Officials, published by the Office of the New York State Comptroller, which reads in Chapter 3, Budgets and Finance Definitions, and it paraphrases Town Law 103, and reads in a pertinent part, "Budget officer means the supervisor or the person appointed to that office by the supervisor. An appointee serves at the pleasure of the supervisor. No town board member may be appointed to be budget officer." You will recall that in the open public meeting of October 16, 2023, you explicitly stated that budget officer Kelly Downs was absent from the meeting. The chair ignored my question when I asked, "Where is the budget officer?" But that question is in fact moot, because the burning question now is that the public can be heard is, if stated by Supervisor Ruso at the public meeting of October 16, 2024, Kelly Downs is the budget officer, when did Ms. Downs resign from her position as member of the town board? And if Ms. Downs has not resigned from her position as a member of the town board, can Mr. Ruso explain on what authority he, as town supervisor, violated the black letter law when he appointed Ms. Downs to be budget officer, given that the law in the Office of the State Comptroller explicitly states that no town board member may be appointed as budget officer? I'll rest until the chair or the competent board member responds to that question, and then I'll proceed to my second topic.
This is public comment.
Now, if there is, I'm the budget officer. The other budget officer is Kelly Downs. She helps me do it. That's all there is to it.
She's never been officially appointed then.
No, heavens no.
So there is no other appointed budget officer?
Are you answering for the chair, or?
No, I just asked
I
her.
just asked her too. She's never been appointed.
Well, why do you
She's
refer to her as,
assistant to me.
why did you refer to her as the budget officer then?
Because the two of us have been doing that.
Okay, fine.
And that's really it.
We'll talk around that then.
So, just you have another one.
Yes, I do.
Formulas and considerations. Okay.
Section 108 of Town Law sets forth that any person may be heard in favor of or against the preliminary budget as compiled, or for the, or against any line item or items therein contained. As I've already questioned the legality of the appointed budget officer, and by extension the legality of the budget itself, I would nevertheless like to take this opportunity to comment on the budget. In so doing, I would specifically cite line item DA 5110.4, road maintenance contractual expenditures, which since 2019 has been subject to an average of 20% reduction each budget year, and in the current budget shows a 30% reduction. Imagine if the board's compensation of Mr. McHugh's $18,000 in town attorney fees were cut 30%. We can well imagine. Let me help you with this little problem. In the 2019 budget, the same line then was $150,000. Today, it's $70,000. Since 2019, inflation has gone rampant, jumping from 2.3% in 2019 to 7.0% in 2021, and down to 6% in 2022. The cumulative inflation rate for the same period is 20.1%, and for the year 2022 to 23, the cumulative rate was 4.9%. The price of diesel and motor oil has fluctuated between 2019 and 2023 on average from $3.26 to $5.36, a $2.10 increase per gallon. If we take the cumulative inflation rate for 2019-2023 period of 20.1%, the budget allocation for this line item alone would be $120,000. At the current year's inflation rate of 3.7%, the line item, using $100,000 as the base, would be $103,000. Even applying the current cumulative inflation rate of 4.9%, 2022 to 23, we'd have $105,000. So the burning question is, how did you come up with $70,000? Moreover, the Council on September 25th, 2023, Resolution 115, 2023, put out a request for proposals for snow plowing and snow removal. Snow removal for the past 25 years has not been done in the town of New Baltimore, so I'm wondering why all of a sudden it has to be done now. Nonetheless, given those inflation figures and the amounts allocated in the budget in the highway line items, just as examples, any costs of contractors would be paid out of the highway line item 5142.1, but there's no increase there. As a matter of fact, that's another decrease. So basically, I'll just cut it short at this point because I know I'm over my time. Given the arbitrary reductions, I'd ask the board to respond to the public with an explanation of the formula used to determine the amount of reductions or increases in highway department allocations or any other items, and if any formula, the historical current and cumulative inflation rates play in the reduction as well as in the overall composition of the town budget.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think at the end of our conversation on the budget, time there, I can get